This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has met with the chairman, board members as well as medical, technical and administrative staff of the Dubai Health Authority. Also present at the meeting were the Dubai Crown Prince, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and Deputy Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. During the gathering, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed emphasized the importance of research and development to enhance the quality of DHA hospitals and further discover appropriate treatments for incurable diseases, as well as improving healthcare standards, especially for patients with chronic diseases. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed also directed the DHA chairman, Humaid bin Mohammed Al Khattami, to provide adequate training to the Emirati healthcare staff at the authority's hospitals and to adopt proper succession plans to build a new generation of specialists. At the meeting, the DHA chairman thanked His Highness Sheikh Mohammed for his continuous support of the DHA and for his close follow-up with its development strategy. Members of the UAE Relief Team have distributed humanitarian aid to hundreds of families at the Emirati-Jordanian camp for Syrian refugees at the Al-Azraq area, located 100 kilometers east of Amman. Since its opening in April 2013, the population of the Emirati-Jordanian camp has been steadily growing and now supports over 6,000 individuals registered with UNHCR. According to a report released by Emirates news agency WAM, the aid was distributed in coordination with the South Azraq Women's Society for Social Development. The humanitarian aid initiative was implemented earlier this week to coincide with Zayed Humanitarian Work Day, which annually marks the anniversary of the death of the founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Beneficiaries at the camp expressed their thanks and appreciation to the UAE and its leadership for their generosity. The Emirates Identity Authority has won the United Nations Public Service Award in the category of promoting whole-of-government approaches in the information age, making the UAE the only country from the Middle East region to win an award in this segment. The honour was given in recognition of Emirates ID accomplishments in the development of infrastructure conducive to transforming services rendered by public and private sectors into electronic services, particularly the setting up of the National Validation Gateway. The award was conferred at the UN Public Service Forum, which was held recently in Colombia, and is issued by the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs to recognize innovations that help to provide better services to citizens everywhere in the world and that improve people's lives. The longer hours of fasting during this year's Ramadan has increased the misconception that observing the holy month may pose a challenge for those suffering from diabetes. Medical experts, however, believe that despite the risks, fasting is possible and patients should exercise caution. Dr. Farhana bin Luther from the Imperial College London Diabetes Centre, based in Abu Dhabi, is among the doctors who stressed on the importance of controlling diabetes as well as regular monitoring of fasting during the holy month. With medication, regular physical activity and right dietary care identified as key factors for control, patients with type 2 diabetes have been advised to refrain from consuming sweet items and encouraged to break their fast in intervals. People with type 1 diabetes, however, have a higher risk of developing severe complications as a result of fasting. However, those who intend to fast should ensure regular consultation with their physicians while strictly monitoring the blood sugar levels during the fast. In order to ensure balanced glucose levels and coupled with supporting the body's regulation system, doctors say that patients should have their suhoor before sunrise, rather than having it at midnight. According to Dr. Farhana, as a result of slow metabolism and the risks of high sugar levels and dehydration during the fast, patients should not overindulge as it could potentially shock the system.
When we fast, what happens is, because as you know, the timing has changed, everything is different. The timing of meals are different, the hours of fasting, now 15 hours as you said. So as we said, so metabolism slows down. So it slows down to conserve the energy. So the sugar wouldn't drop, and we don't, break our fast. We don't go low sugar levels, which is sweating and palpitations and so on. It's peculiar and beautiful in some ways, is that the sugar just usually drops just before iftar. And that's the time when we need that fast energy, which is usually 3 dates and water. It's so timely. In someone who has diabetes, it's the same, right? It is the same. The only thing is that those 3 factors are quite key, which is activity level, medication, and the type of diet that they have.
Environmental factors are regarded as the most crucial for a borderline or a diabetic patient. Highlighting exercise as an ideal treatment for insulin resistance, Dr. Farhana believes that people should use the Ramadan period to change their lifestyle and recommended brisk walking for 10 to 15 minutes before iftar. It was added that developing a regular exercise program can play an important role in controlling the risks associated with diabetes.
Taraweeh prayer in itself is actually an exercise and an activity. So healthy lifestyle, or adopting a healthy lifestyle, it is activity, balanced diet, and that's for most everyone, right? And someone who has diabetes is even more imperative, or it's important, because exercise prevents complications. So complications like heart attacks, strokes, kidney problems, right? So it protects the heart. And also, it manages the sugar level. So the more active we are, the more the body is sensitized to insulin.
The country's largest school transport provider has announced that about 1,000 women school bus supervisors will join Emirates Transport in the next academic year. As mandated by the Roads and Transport Authority in Dubai, school buses carrying female students are to have women supervisors. Announcing the move, Jassim Mohammed Ashair, the manager of the Emirates Transport School Services Centre, said the company will provide the new supervisors with full job training covering transport and safety issues, as well as child handling skills. Ashair said the latest recruitment drive aims to boost the student transport services provided by Emirates Transport to private schools in all Emirates. Currently, Emirates Transport has 5,500 school bus supervisors working for both government and private schools across the UAE. Bus supervisors undergo extensive training before starting their jobs and on a regular basis during the academic year, with training involving basic duties, transport-related health and safety, first aid, as well as child interaction skills. In Dubai, the supervisors and drivers are specially trained and approved by the RTA. The central bank in the UAE has announced that it will put into circulation currency notes with tactile features for the blind and visually impaired to recognize. The features will be felt on notes of 500 dirhams and 5 dirham denomination, which will keep the overall design and other specifications the same as the currency notes currently in circulation. According to local reports, the notes will be reprinted with tactile features in the front of the notes, engraved in bleed-off intaglio printing on the edge of the banknote's short sides. For the 500 dirham note, the marking consists of a pair of 3 horizontal lines separated by a recognizable distance around the middle of the right and left short sides of the note. As for the 5 dirham note, the feature consists of 1 horizontal line in the middle of the right and left short sides of the note. The 2 currency notes will be dispensed to banks in accordance with the central bank's established procedures for cash withdrawal and deposits. The development means that UAE has now joined a select group of countries that have issued currency notes recognizable by the blind and partially sighted. And finally, in the bulletin, a new study assessing the usage of technology among consumers worldwide has revealed that consumers in the UAE are more active on social media platforms than the global average, with more than 80% respondents preferring communication via mobile apps. According to the findings by Avaya and BT in their study titled Autonomous Customer 2015 on Hold for Intelligent Customer Service, consumers in the country build loyalty with businesses that offer innovative engagement options integrating traditional and social communication channels. Aimed at offering market analysis and consumer behavior trends for businesses in the service sector, the results are based on the responses of more than 5,500 consumers around the world, including the UAE. As per their findings, 78% of the respondents would use Skype to speak to a contact center agent, while 83% would use apps to communicate with service staff when online. According to a representative of Avaya Global Growth Markets, the results are largely due to the large smartphone penetration rates, as well as the development of mobile apps by various entities.
Demographic of the population in Dubai with several cultures, melting pots, the average age lower than most other cities in the world. All this brings together or culminates into wanting to use these new channels, and social media and messaging seem to be those right at the top that are the fastest growing. And the UAE, with all that they're trending, they seem to be up there amongst the leaders. And I think with the drive overall, will surpass that eventually. So if you look at the survey in 3 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised if UAE is out there as an outlier in leadership positions in that omni-channel service.
Making social media presence and other communications platforms equally important, the study revealed 61% of their respondents have used a smartphone to comment on social media about customer service received. It was further added that the statistics suggest that companies should now focus towards unifying their customer experience, both digitally and at their stores.
What we found was very interesting in the sense that social media, messaging and video take a huge precedence and is growing very rapidly as compared to some of the legacy channels, which is, walking into a branch or, even a voice interaction with the enterprise. That drive is to actually deliver what we call the omni-channel experience from a service, whether any enterprise, whether you're talking about a consumer service or a service provider or a banking service, is to provide a singular experience to any customer within the UAE and deliver that over any channel of their choice, any device of their choice from anywhere within, whether they're in the UAE or outside the UAE. And that's the end goal.